welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. I'm KJ, by the way, and today we are back with another reaction video, so sit back, grab a snack, and let's go! Alright guys, y'all see the title. Yeah, you read it right. It's, meat cake. With candy in it.
So let me walk you through the steps of how to make yourself a pork cake. So I'm going to be reading you the original recipe amounts, and it makes 2 pork cakes, and what you see in the video is for 1. In a large bowl, place 1 pound of ground pork, and then pour over 2 cups of boiling water. Set this aside.
This looks so gross to me. I mean, I don't know, maybe I'm being a little squeamish because it kind of looks like ground beef, but not really.
Pink slime?
Yeah, that is what they called it years ago, pink slime. Yuck. I don't eat pork though, so that's that. Maybe that's why it looks gross.
Completely cooled. To 1 cup of molasses, add 1 1/4 teaspoons of baking soda. Then add this to your pork and water mixture.
Woo, child.
Why would you do that?
2 cups of sugar too.
Molasses? Isn't that usually found in like ginger snap cookies? And I think molasses cookies? No, it's not put with meat. And neither is sugar. What? Ew.
Next, you're going to sift in 5 1/2 cups of all-purpose flour, a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of cloves, 1 tablespoon of nutmeg, and 2 tablespoons of cinnamon. Sift all the dry ingredients into the wet, and then stir to combine. Next, we're going to add 1 cup of raisins. So the recipe calls.
Damn! I'm done. I'm done. Ain't no way. The only reason I'm continuing this is for y'all. I'm doing it for y'all, okay? We just gonna keep going, but man.
It calls for a 1/4 pound of citron, which is a beautiful citrus, and it's mostly rind and pith, and it's often candied, but it's so aromatic. It's in the citrus family, so it smells a bit like a lemon, and I've actually made candied citron before. I'll put a link to that video down below. So I wasn't able to find any candied citron, so I substituted candied pineapple along with the zest.
You know what? This is so sad to me because you know those bags of dried fruit? The pineapple, as a little kid and even now, the dried pineapple was my favorite. In those bags of dried fruit. You couldn't tell me nothing about my dried pineapple. Nothing. Love that stuff. But now, I don't know how to feel because, I mean, now when I see dried pineapple, I might think of this and not want it.
Of 1 lemon and 1 cup of chopped nuts.
This just
Then finally, we're going to add 1 cup of gumdrops. Now stir everything to combine. Pour this into a greased loaf pan and then.
Ew! Wait a minute!
Now it looks like refried beans.
It looks like it could look like refried beans with a bunch of crap in it. This also is giving me fruit cake vibes, even though we know it's not. It's meat cake. Ew. You know what this reminds me of though? Meat cake. Ron Stoppable from Kim Possible.
Oh gosh.
Do y'all remember?
He moved to Norway.
Yeah, he moved to Norway, and the delicacy there was meat cakes.
Yeah.
Meat cakes.
Right.
Man. Ew. This is.
Place it into a preheated 275-degree oven and bake for 2.5 to 3 hours, or until
2.5 to 3 hours. I ain't trying to blow up my power bill for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Not like that. Not for that.
Right? Your power bill and my patience. Like, most cakes do not take no 2.5 to 3 hours to bake. Depending on the size. Bigger cakes, I don't know. But then again, they're usually put in commercial ovens, so it still don't take that long, does it? Any bakers out there, let me know. But
I'm not blowing up my power bill for that. 2.5 to 3 hours.
No, that's ridiculous. No.
Comes out clean. There's something about the name. When you say pork cake, it makes it seem so unusual, but when you say mincemeat, you're like, okay. Oh, incidentally, these days, most mincemeat pies contain no meat whatsoever, just a combination of candied fruit and spices. Okay, enough jibber-jabbering, let's go ahead and taste our pork cake. I just bought this cutting board a couple weeks ago, and already it has a crack in it. I've used this maybe 3 times, and it has a crack in it already. Curses. At any rate, let's go ahead and cut into our pork cake. So here it is. I took it out of the loaf pan after it was cool, and then I wrapped it in some wax paper and just placed it back in the pan. Look how stinking cute that is. There it is. And it looks
giving me fruitcake vibes.
A lot like a fruitcake.
It looks like a fruitcake and a loaf cake had a baby. That's what this looks like.
Right.
It smelled beautiful in here while this was baking. Absolutely beautiful.
It smelled good. Are you sure?
Oh, look at that. Alrighty, my lovelies, let's finally give the pork cake a taste. I'm gonna grab this slice right here because it has a gumdrop in it. I'm curious to see if I can taste the pork at all. It looks very much like a fruit cake. The molasses gives it this really dark brown color. Lots of raisins and nuts. Okay, let's give it a taste. Here we go. Itadakimasu. A very heavily spiced spice cake. Tons of juicy raisins in there. I'm not a huge fan of raisins, but contextually this works. Raisins to me always seem to be paired with cinnamon. They make a great combination. This is a very rich cake. When I say rich, I don't mean rich and buttery, but rich meaning chock full. It's got tons of dried fruit in there, lots of raisins. I can taste the nuts in there. I can feel the nuts in there. In proportion to the breaded part, there's a lot of kind of fillings in there. So very dense. I really want to get a bite with a gumdrop in it. Here we go. Because the cake is so heavily spiced, I hardly taste the gumdrop at all. I do feel it texturally. It's a little bit gummy, gumdroppy, but it totally works.
She keeps taking bites. So is this her way of saying you can't taste the pork? Like,
I don't know.
This is the kicker, because usually when I'm watching recipes, let us know if this is not just us. Like, do y'all do this? Right? Usually I'm watching a recipe on YouTube, right? They get to the end, it looks amazing, and they're like, now it's time to try it. Usually I pause
Cut the
right
video
there.
right
I
off,
gotta go.
I cannot watch you eat that. It looks
right?
so good.
It looks so
I can
good.
only imagine how it tastes.
Right?
I'm done with the video at that point.
That's just torture, right?
It's like I want to be done with this video at this point, because that's how you
Because
went.
I'm disturbed. I'm very disturbed. But I want to hear her. If she mentions it, I want to hear if she says whether or not you can taste the meat. I don't think you can taste the meat. But usually I'm jealous when other people are eating amazing food that I cannot eat. I can't eat my phone. That would taste nasty and nothing like the recipe I just got done watching. But this, I'm just disturbed. I'm not jealous, I'm disturbed.
But do I taste pork? No, not at all. I don't feel it, I don't taste it. All I taste is lots of spices. I taste raisins, I taste nuts, but I don't taste pork whatsoever. Alrighty, my beautiful lovelies.
Alright, I've had enough of this.
Yeah, she answered your question. She does not taste the pork.
She doesn't taste pork, so we're done with this. Yeah,
That was interesting.
That was. I definitely do not want pork, which is a good thing I don't eat it anyway. But let us know
If
what
this
you
is a
got.
recipe that you would try.
I think most people wouldn't. But let us know if you have seen any other ridiculous recipes that you would love for us to react to in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, okay? And we will see you guys in our next one. Bye, y'all.